Weren't theme songs for movies in the 80s just the best thing ever? The 80s classic Ghostbusters, starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, and directed by Ivan Reitman. The film has many great qualities. An interesting story, great effects for its time, fantastic characters, and great comedic acting. It is one of the first movies I wanted to introduce to my kids because of how good the film is overall. When should you introduce kids to this classic film? While it is a comedy, it also can be scary in parts and could cause some children to be frightened while watching. There really isn't any bad language in the film. There might be one or two cuss words, but nothing to prevent me from letting my kids watch. The same can be said for violence. There is violence in the film, but it is always directed at spiritual creatures. Any action throughout the movie always takes place when our team of misfit scientists are fighting ghosts. They never go up against other humans. Well, not any that don't also turn into dogs. There is also one minor sex scene with the ghost, but I never understood this scene until I was older, and most children won't either. The only drawback before letting kids watch is the scary concept. For me personally, when I was a kid, I could hardly ever make it past the scene where Dana is floating over the bed. I would watch the film constantly on my VHS copy up until that point, and then have to shut it off. It's funny to think that this is the scene that caused me to have to turn off the movie. It's just her floating above the bed, nothing more, and it totally freaked me out. The transformation of Dana and Lewis into terror dogs could also be fairly scary. I can see kids who become frightened easily being afraid to watch Ghostbusters. The story, however, is what draws everyone in. For kids, the idea of a group of people going out to capture ghosts is instantly intriguing. There is now a whole reality television concept around the idea. The pseudoscience they use in the film is fantastic, and the tools they use to catch ghosts, any kid would instantly want to get their hands on. Who doesn't want a proton pack? The story of the movie is easy to follow. The Ghostbusters catch ghosts, and there have been more sightings because of the coming of Gozer. We even get great exposition because Peter doesn't really understand anything that's going on. Ray and Egon have to explain things to him so he understands, which is great for him and us as the audience. Even if kids don't understand all the ins and outs of the story, they can just sit back and enjoy all the action fighting ghosts. The special and practical effects in this movie still hold up remarkably well for a movie released over 30 years ago. Some of the scenes with the terror dogs stand out as not looking great now, but everything else still looks fantastic. The scene with Slimer still looks great, and so does the part in the library. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man still holds up and causes just as much awe-inspiring joy now as it did when I was a kid. Can I now tell that some of the scenes with him used miniatures? Yes, but it doesn't take away from the movie. For a film made before the advent of major CGI use, this film holds up extremely well to modern movies. Any kid who watches can still be mesmerized by all the ghosts and creatures used in the film. Ghostbusters simply resonates well with people of any age. It has the perfect mix of story, comedy, and action for any kid to enjoy. The cool theme song from the movie doesn't hurt either. My 12-year-old knew the song way before he ever watched the movie, and so did my 4-year-old. The movie was on television a few months back, and I stopped to watch, and my 4-year-old became instantly engaged, and we ended up watching the rest of the film. Though I did have to pop in my DVD so we could skip past the commercials. 4 is probably a little young, but he wasn't afraid and didn't have any nightmares, so maybe it was okay. I think an appropriate age range for the film is anywhere between 4 and 7, depending on the kid. There are scary elements, but if the kid doesn't scare easy, it's probably okay to let them watch. I'm glad both of my boys have enjoyed the movie and will watch it with me whenever I put it on. Even though I've seen Ghostbusters countless times, something about it never gets old. Let me know when you first remember seeing Ghostbusters. Did any part scare you? When would you let your kids watch Ghostbusters? Comment and let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.